Welcome to Co-op Mode, round 165. This is the official video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. I am one of your counterparts. The new challenger that's going to be joining us is a great guest, but I'm Todd Oxtra. I hail from parts known, Minnesota. The Wolves are playing tonight, so hopefully the Wolves can knock out those folks in San Francisco, and we'll get our basketball team still going. Joined by my Canadian, my friend, the fighter of illness, Mark Canadian Carabin.
Go Sports! Hey, I'm here.
Come on, the NHL is going on right now. We got some Canada still alive, Mark.
They are, yeah. That's NHL is going strong and very exciting.
It's a thing.
Exciting stuff.
Are you really Canadian, Mark?
No,
I don't think so. All right. And then we are joined by a new member who's joining us on the co-op couch, and that is Matt Kennedy, a.k.a. MKen10 on YouTube. He's a streamer. He's always sharing cool games, really into it, long streams. Check him out when you can. He'll tell you all about that in a second. But Matt, welcome to the show.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. What's up?
We're here.
Glad to have you.
Sounds good. Yeah, you got your Wolves in there, and my Knicks just got crushed. But hopefully, up 2-1, man. If we can beat the heck out of the Celtics, that's all I ask for. That's all I ask.
You know what? You got cats, so there's that.
1973 was a long time ago, so I'm hoping something happens.
We are the LA Lakers. Well, Minnesota Lakers left us, and that's when they won all their championships. So the Wolves have got a lot of work to do to live up to that title. But Matt, before we get really into this, we need to know a little bit more about you and your gaming origin stories. First, what does MKen10 stand for? We should just always ask people what their gaming tag is, because sometimes it makes no sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, Matthew, and then so MKen, and a long time ago when I tried to make one of my first emails, MKen was already taken. MKen1 was already taken, and I guess you kind of figure out the rest. And so I by the time I got to 2 or 3, I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And 10 popped up. I was like, oh man, that rhymes with Ken. MKen10, and there it was. So that's been the tag for, gosh, we're going back maybe late 90s, early 2000s. So I've had that one for a good 25 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's also probably a Star Wars droid, Mark. Can you verify?
Oh, that would be sick.
It is now 100%. Yeah, 100%. M series. Yes. Gaming droid.
There it is.
Love it. Okay, next question. So you knocked out the first one. Thank you so much for that. Next question is going to be, what is your desert island game, understanding you would be able to play a game maybe that requires online connection, but you can't play with others? So that's allowed too. But if it was just any game, maybe something online like a Fortnite, but it's all bots, would you have a game that you would take on a desert island that would keep you satisfied?
Do I have to? I don't play really.
No, I'm just saying if you are online, it's a game that requires internet connection, you'll get it. You just don't get to tell anybody, I'm on a desert island, please rescue me.
Gotcha. So, I mean, yes, I have a game. I don't think it's my favorite game, but the game that I would definitely bring is probably Fallout 4. Oh. I'm one of the ones that got lost in settlement building. So I have maybe 25 hours in Fallout 4, the game, and about 2,000 hours in Fallout 4 settlement building.
Holy.
So that would probably be and again, it's not my favorite game. It's just, there was just, that settlement thing took people by storm. You either loved it or you hated it, right? So you guys might be on the side of hating it. But
I never got into it. Yeah. I fell off the game too early, and I should have gone back to it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Starfield had it right there, but I just don't think Starfield delivered in terms of the building aspect with their outposts and stuff. But there was just, and then the mods, forget it. So I guess I would need online access on this desert island.
We'll allow mods, but yeah,
need the mods. So that would be my game.
That's a great answer. Any one of those games that you can dig in for 2,012 hours is is a pretty good option.
Yeah.
Mark, you got a question?
What is the first game you can remember buying with your own money?
Oh. Damn. Okay, I got it. I can't tell you the year, but I remember it was definitely allowance. I was young. It was Sega Genesis NBA Jam.
Oh,
and I want to say it was like a good $75 at the time, because like, am I wrong?
Mega cart.
Weren't Sega games like ridiculously expensive? Either that or my mom pocketed.
SNES.
My mom pocketed the money if it wasn't set. But for whatever reason, I think it was 75 is ringing a bell. But I used my own money to buy NBA Jam.
Did you use like the Bill Clinton code?
Oh my gosh. I remember like the big head, you had the big head code or the Michael Jordan code. I don't know. I don't remember. That's funny though, because that's bringing me back. You like sparked something. But no, I don't quite remember what codes and cheats and stuff I used for NBA Jam.
You gotta love it. And I
love how when you codes and stuff existed back in those days.
Right?
It was all like school. Like, how the hell did they get passed around? Like schoolyard to schoolyard. I remember getting codes on like pieces of paper that were either written or like really like printed from the shittiest printer known to man, where you could barely make out if it was an A or a B or an up. And then people would like color it in to what it was supposed to be, but like in pencil. So that faded too. And you're trying to read this pirate treasure map of like NBA Jam and like Looney Tunes basketball codes. And it's just like, how did people discover
Magazines.
it? How did it make its way around?
Magazines, Mark. GamePro, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like the Mortal Kombat blood code. That was the one that got passed around my school. And I remember this. It was like a printout of, I want to say, Kathy Ireland.
Oh.
It was like a Kathy Ireland like bikini printout with the Mortal Kombat blood code on it. And that thing got passed around for like weeks to like every elementary kid student. Why I remember that, I don't know.
It was Kathy Ireland in the bikini, and I'm like,
I'm almost positive it was Kathy Ireland.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I just looked this up. There is a Sonic 3 ad from 1994 from Toys R Us. Sonic 3 was $70. And it came, but for extra a $10 down payment, you could get a free Sonic Music CD.
Wow!
See, that's what I'm talking about. And so when we talk about video game prices going up, like the first thing that came to mind was like, damn, did my mom pocket that extra coin? Because if I ask her now, she's not going to remember. But I swear NBA Jam was $75.
Yeah, they're like N64 games that hit like $100 30 something years ago. Like, games were crazy.
Yeah.
What
a time.
Oh yeah. Here you go. I got another one. This is This is the Sega Nomad for $180. The Power Rangers movie game was $50. NHL 96 $60. Madden 96 $60. WrestleMania the arcade game $70. Mortal Kombat 3 $60, and Batman Forever the game $65.
Wow.
So I don't think your mom was pocketing anything.
Nope. And then I looked up NBA Jam, like in mint, like if people that still have it in the box, like mint condition, and like my jaw dropped. I was like, damn, I wish I saved my money for two. Because that thing's worth thousands.
About that? Yeah.
Thousands.
It'll be worth millions of dollars in the future. Don't touch that thing. Put it away, kid, because you got all this allowance money just sitting around. You're not going to do anything with it.
Exactly. It's like, hey, mom, did you save that original Barbie doll, or did you cut its hair off the moment you got it, right?
Yeah, everyone had weird Barbie. No one had pristine Barbie. That's it.
One of my best friends, he had an N64 in college. He was so anal retentive. He would take the cart, put it back in the little plastic baggie it came in, put it back in the cardboard, put it back in. I mean, like, he was so gentle about it. I'm like, of course, we're in college. It's not like these are little kids or anything. But I bet he still has the same plastic, like, baggie it went into. I mean, what were they doing? Still using boxes.
That guy had
cardboard
kids,
boxes.
and all of that went straight to hell. 14 seconds into having a child in the house that could walk. That is how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you don't have your amiibo out. You don't have anything out. They get
Yeah, I
chewed.
just
They
found
get
half
lost.
of Gamora from Disney Infinity. I don't know where the other half went, but Finn was playing with her like legs. And I was just like, hey, where's the rest of this? And he's like, I don't know. It's a Pokemon now. I was like, what Pokemon is this? Scyther? I'm like, thanks, bud. I could have 3D printed you a
Leggies.
Scyther. Don't destroy my Gamora. Fudge.
My Yoshi amiibo is the headless Yoshi. Now, yeah. I tried to repair it. Oh well. Yeah. Thank you so much, Matt. Well, we got the business out of the way. Now we got into thanks some very special people that make this podcast happen.
Yeah, those are the amazing people over at patreon.com/secret friends unite. You can join our secret friend super squad for as little as $2 a month and get exclusive shows, no ads, Discord benefits, and more. You can also get 50% off your first month after a 7-day free trial, which is pretty freaking awesome. If you want to join the people, you can join the besties tier with Derek Trevelyan, aka the Figure Dude, Francie, the official hairstylist of SFU, and Charlie's wife just got a haircut from Francie, so thanks, Francie. The Xbox expansion pass and Charlie's uncle Tim, the friends with benefits.
It's a family affair.
It is. It's 100%. Yeah, you got the hairstylist and Charlie's uncle up in that besties tier. The friends with benefits tier, John Sedor, Phoenix Sisters Entertainment, Brendan Myers, Corey and HD, Matthew Keel, Kurt Krug, Tanya Lee, Chipotle Bear, Famous Seamus, Cam the Movie Man, who we'll be talking about again in a second, Jay Newport 007, and Brian Osserman, aka Prozac Man, aka Darth Prozac. And of course, we could not mention Patreon without the incredible support of our secret friend super squad. That is Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias, the best family on the internet. Again, you can join all of these amazing people over at patreon.com/secret friends unite. Now, let's give Cam the Movie Man a power up.
Who wants to go first?
Todd, let's go with you first so our guests can figure out what the hell we're talking about.
Okay.
I know.
So Mark will always resolve, basically make sure I'm following the rules or establish some rules based on my insanity. But with Cam the Movie Man, his power up is going to be related to video games, but not in playing them, but in recording himself play. He will be blessed with always having the perfect gaming clips. It always happens. He never has to worry about it. It's always spot on, best action, gets uploaded with no issues. He doesn't have to worry about logins, getting kicked out, any of the things he's done, any of the encoding. His clips are spot on. They're always uploaded, always looking good, and he gets major props on TikTok.
Fantastic. That's a great power, especially because I was talking to Brendan Myers and we were sharing some Fortnite clips right before we started recording. And I sent him a clip and he was like, I cannot play that video. And it was a good video, but he just couldn't play it. So everything you mentioned there of the perfect timing, that's such a great power up. Mr. MKen10, do you have a power up?
And I've watched enough episodes and I love all the power ups and stuff. However, do I have rules or can I do any power up I want?
No, it's
power up
line isn't anywhere
in a game.
Rules don't matter.
So I see that Cam's name is Cam the Movie Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that he needs to have some sort of right, when he's down to the last HP, he can make some sort of we're going to call it a snackrifice, where he can use that movie theater snack, right? Doesn't matter what it is. He's got maybe an arsenal of movie theater popcorn, or maybe he's got that Diet Cola or Sprite or something like that. And he takes a charge of that, full HP, full magic, full everything. He is back in the game. He's only got one. We're going to call it the snackrifice instead of the set, right?
I like
so
that.
He has to sacrifice all of those candy bars and stuff that he scored at the movie theater and it's just another go, right? So that boss that kicked his butt, he's right back in the game. Kind of like God of War Ragnarok, where or God of War, where Atreus pumps you and you come back to health. This sacrifice gives you full health.
I love it.
Kind of reminds me of Borderlands, where like you're on the ground, you have to get kill one person to get that recharge.
Yep, exactly. It's like red rope licorice. Back in the game.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Just have pockets full of popcorn, because that's how I'm imagining this. Just
why not?
Tots,
cargo pants.
Lines his pockets with plastic bags.
But
I don't know.
Once, right? We're not giving him unlimited.
Nope. It's the sacrifice. The sacrifice. One per game.
That's fantastic. I'm going with a similar movie theme, but I'm going in a very different direction with it. I'm actually going to take a little bit of inspiration from Buy Rent Return and the classic days of Blockbuster, and call this the Be Kind Rewind power-up that Cam the Movie Man can just at any point in any game rewind and just kind of fix a little mistake, make a jump, do something over again. Doesn't matter what the game is. If it has the rewind feature built in, doesn't matter. If it could be Fortnite and you just missed that victory royale, Be Kind Rewind. Go back, fix your mistakes.
So essentially, he can control time, because, like you said, Fortnite, people are playing online, so they get rewound too.
I just gave Cam God powers. That's
oh my God, I love it.
So if he makes the sacrifice and then rewinds, he gets another sacrifice.
Kinda, yeah.
Do you guys remember those rewind? They had rewind machines.
Oh yeah,
My grandmother had one of those.
I had a car. Yeah, I had a car. You put it in, it looked like a Corvette. Good to go.
Yeah, man, that's a good power up. I like that. Yeah. Is that a real life one? That'd be cool if it was real life.
Ooh, a real life.
It's like, whoa.
I was thinking just in games, but
this
real life.
This was a mistake.
I'm trying to remember. There is was it The Boys, or was it Gen V, where a guy had that ability and it got out of control. It was crazy stuff. That's a great idea. It did not work. No, it was. I'll tell you about it later. It's a great British show.
I know you're thinking of Click. I got you.
No. Oh, yeah. They know that classic film Click.
Tell you how many times I've mixed up Click and The Boys.
Yes,
constant.
Yeah.
Constant in my life. Yeah.
It's an Adam Sandler thing. I get you.
Yeah, exactly. Or Bedazzled, or it's Brendan Fraser getting wishes from Elizabeth Hurley. Nobody remembers. Nobody forgets that movie.
Not at all. Brendan Fraser, great movie.
Yes. That's what everybody says about that movie. Not Elizabeth Hurley. Well, who's that? No. Well, there we go. Enjoy your power up. That is something you get as a new Patreon. So we got a couple more to give over the next 2 weeks. But you know what? If you want to get a power up, have some fun, be part of our Patreon Discord, sign up, 50% off your first month. With that, though, we get into, I think, the game that separates the men from the really dumb men is Buy Rent Return. And typically I'm the dumb one. But this week of Buy Rent and Return, we're doing Worth the Wait. So I was thinking about it when GTA 6 is now going to be delayed. And now will be, I believe, are we at 15 years? Will that be 15 years between GTAs?
2013, I think.
Okay, so it'll be 13 years.
I think.
Okay. So the question is, between sequels or releases, is a game worth the wait that long? So I picked 3 games that had long. I had other games like Streets of Rage, 3 and 4, 26 years. Did you know that? I didn't know that. On the Genesis and then on PS4.
God, Streets of Rage 3 was Streets of Rage 2. Oh.
Yeah. It's just funny because I'm like, well, that's probably a little ridiculous, but still, Streets of Rage 4 is phenomenal. But I picked Doom 2016, 12 years between Doom 3 and Doom 2016. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Alan Wake 2, 16 years.
Wow.
I don't count American Wasteland. Sorry. If anybody was counting that, don't.
Oh, is that the arcade game or something like that?
It is kind of like action. Yeah, not very good. And then Psychonauts 2, 16 years. Matt, you're not going to be very well liked because your first comment was.
I have a very psycho stat for this.
Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead.
So I played Doom. I played Doom 3.
Okay.
Did not play Doom 2016. I played Alan Wake. I have not played Alan Wake 2 yet. I played Psychonauts. I did not play Psychonauts 2 yet.
Are you wanting out?
Based on box art alone.
But I can play this game because listen, I mean, okay, so tell you what, I dabbled with Doom 2016. I probably have like a good hour or two in it, but I put it down. Alan Wake 2, I watched a pretty good Let's Play for a couple hours, and I'm like, no, I'm in. Like, turning it off. And Psychonauts 2, I enjoyed Psychonauts, and I don't remember why I didn't play Psychonauts 2, but I want to. But I can definitely, I know how I want to play this buy, rent, and return. So do you want me to start?
I'd love you to keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
go in.
Here is and I'm going to have like a super hot take. I know Dan, Daddy Diwali already permabanned me from life once again, but my buy, and so should I give you my justification for each, or do you want me to just go, 1, 2, 3?
You don't have to justify yourself though.
It depends on how mysterious you want to be.
Okay. So
give us the explanation, or just pop them off and just be like, that's it, mic drop.
All right. So I'm buying Alan Wake 2. Right, because this is a game that I did play, and I remember playing Alan Wake. I remember replaying Alan Wake, and I just remember absolutely being in love with that Stephen King meets David Lynch type of genre. And when we talk about the games we're playing in a little bit, I love Remedy. I am a big Remedy fan, so I am buying Alan Wake. I want that in my arsenal. I'm going to rent Psychonauts 2. I really enjoyed Psychonauts. I love a really good platforming game. It's, and Psychonauts is really quirky and brain bending, amusement park style type of game. But that's you waited online for the ride. You had a good time, and then you move on to the next ride. So I'm renting Psychonauts, and I'm returning Doom. I grew up playing Doom 1 and Doom 2, the circle strafing type of shotgun, type of thing. But the metal fast pace zipping around, my fingers started getting numb an hour into. And I tried playing Doom Eternal without finishing Doom.
Doom Eternal's even worse if you hate the fast movement.
And it's just, I wasn't digging it. And I even put it, I put the difficulty down, and I was like, oh, this is easy. But it's then why am I bothering with this game? So the high chase, I feel like I'm freaking on a caffeine rush, listening to heavy metal. It just wasn't. The Doom days were a little bit behind me. It's not that I'm not excited for Dark Ages, because I hear Dark Ages is more of a stand your ground type of game, although it still has that fast action. I also hear there's not so much zipping around. So returning Doom.
All valid. Once again, you don't have to validate anyone. You can just be you, Matt.
I think my reasons are justified. If Daddy Diwali wants to permaban me from being permabanned, it's okay.
You know what? Who hasn't been permabanned by Dan at this point?
It's a goal. I'm trying to get the most permabans.
I think his wife is permabanned right now. Maybe his kids too.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of Daddy Diwali, do you want to jump into some of the social write-ins on this one?
Because his is exactly the opposite of mine.
Yeah, I'll take his. So Daddy Diwali said, this one is tough. Buy Psychonauts 2. Blew me away. Didn't play the first game. Well, just skipped right to the sequel. Rent Doom. This is my favorite Doom. Honestly, can we buy 2 games? I'm feeling you on that one, but no. And return Alan Wake 2. I loved Alan Wake 1. Got every achievement on 360, on remastered, on AW American Nightmare. I was high on AW 2 when it came out, but the more I played and after completing the game, the less I liked it. I thought it was a little too artsy in a bad way. There is very little gameplay. The jump scares got old, and I'm not sure we got any further in AW's story at the end of the game. AW1 is better.
Ooh.
Mark, can we permaban Danny D. Wally? That's our first permaban on the show.
All cap locks. All cap locks.
All caps. Permaban. Do you want to take BTs?
Oh my goodness, it's like a novel here. I have to do a summarization of this. Okay. Brian Horan, this is one of Charlie's relatives. Man, it's a family affair, like we said. I've only played the Doom remake. It was really good. Was it worth the wait? Most likely. Not knowing anything about the other two, I would say that I would not. I would rent both. Sorry, I know that breaks the rules, but I don't have a concrete opinion on these. You know what? I broke the rules before, but you know what? We'll allow it in this case. Just to mention the other games worth the wait. My Metroid heart is breaking. Dread was a 17-year-old wait between main side scroller entries. Similarly, Prime 4 will be an 18-year wait, assuming it releases in 2025. And Brian also has some comments about our main topic, so we'll come back to that at the end of the show.
Winter Gamer, Brendan Myers said, I was just talking to him right before we started recording. Buy Doom because tearing up demons never gets boring. Rent Psychonauts 2. Heard the game is great, a great display of giving the developer the ability to create their game with less limits. And return Alan Wake 2 because it just seems like a snore gameplay wise. Seems to be mirroring Daddy D. Wally's comments on very little gameplay action.
Do I need a permaban button?
Only if I get a revoke button because I'm going to copy both guys in about 3 seconds.
Control Alt Delete, Alt Z. What is that? Undo. Todd undo button.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very good, Brandon. I guess you're okay. We'll get back to your comment though about the future of gaming. Bacon Gaming. Buy Psychonauts 2, rent Doom, return Alan Wake 2. No validation, no qualification. Simple man said it simply.
Yep. And Chipotle Bear, who we just gave a Star Wars species and job title on the most recent episode of Holocron Chronicles, said, buy Doom, rent Psychonauts, and return Alan Wake 2, though that really hurts me to say. Didn't justify anything other than saying that is, I'm guessing the returning Alan Wake 2 hurt, not the renting Psychonauts. Maybe it was hurtful all around. Maybe he just wanted to buy. I don't know. But
what, bye. Oh my goodness. You're going to start singing in the dance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's in sync with his bye.
You guys been practicing the dance moves I sent you?
Yeah, it's karaoke. It's a karaoke. I did that at karaoke once. I think Charlie took video of that. Please delete it if it's out there.
I need that, Charlie. Thank you.
Okay. For myself, I am going to buy Alan Wake 2. I loved Alan Wake 1. When I saw what they were doing with Alan Wake 2, I was like nervous. I'm like, is this going to be fun to play? And it was a challenge to play, but in a good way. I had to adapt. I didn't want to turn on the difficulty. I really enjoyed the steps they made. The DLC is amazing. And I've said this before, Alan Wake 2 has one of the best moments in gaming for me that I've ever experienced. So that's why it's there. All I will say is the music of Alan Wake, that band, and one of the levels is amazing. So if you don't want to play it, at least watch the video of the music level. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And they recreated that at the Video Game Awards.
Yeah. A couple years ago.
Oh yeah. It was amazing. I just love that they got everybody involved. For me, I'm going to say rent Doom 2016. The reason why is because I've not been like the biggest Doom fan. I grew up at the era where Doom was hot at college, and everybody's doing that. No mouse look or anything like that. I like Doom Nukem 3D better because it was more interactive, fun, goofy. All of the Bruce Campbell. That was me versus this. And I've gone through the history of first-person shooters. But when Doom 2016 came out after Doom 3 was kind of like very slow, beautiful, but slow and static. You actually had to put a mod to get a flashlight. We talk about monster closets in games. That came from Doom 3. Doom 2016 changed the games in regards to risk and reward. Going in all in to, if you're going to go in, your reward is you're going to get health points or ammo or something like that. If you don't, you hang back, you're going to die. I love that game. Didn't love Doom Eternal, though. I did not like the traversal. I felt it took away from the experience, made it a whole different game. Some people loved it. That's why I am excited about Doom: The Dark Ages, when you're going to have a shield that comes back to you like Captain America, but has blades on it. You're going to have a cannonball on a chain that you can shoot out to people. I mean, I'm all in. So Doom 2016, very good. Love that game. Psychonauts 2. This is where it's tough because these are all great games. But I didn't feel like Psychonauts 2 was like significantly beyond Psychonauts 1. Obviously advanced because it's been 16 years, but it wasn't like they couldn't have done those same things, but just not as pretty or as broad. But they did say that going to Microsoft allowed them to add in boss levels. So that's a benefit to being in a big studio. And I know the franchise was gotten yanked around before. So that's where I'm going to go. All great games. So no shots, but you know what? We don't play favorites. We just buy, rent, and return.
Yeah. I am going to wrap this up by copying Brendan Myers. I'm going to buy Doom because ripping and tearing never gets boring. And Todd, similar to your points, that game completely flipped the script on what you expect from a first-person shooter. I'm a big shooter fan, and every single shooter since Halo has been duck and cover, recover your shield, recover your health. Yeah, hide out until things recover and then go blasting. This game said, no, you're not stuck in a room with 20 monsters. They're stuck in a room with you. Go after them hard, go after them fast. You will be rewarded the more aggressively you play. Don't hide behind a barrel because that's not going to do anything for you. Get out and face these things like the demon slayer that you are. And it did it so well that it took a couple of seconds or a couple of tries to realize like, I can't play this like a Halo. I can't play this like a Destiny or any other first person shooter since 2000. You have to play this like an aggressive psychopath and just go. And once you embrace that, it is one of the most satisfying first person shooters that I think you can play. And 2016 just nailed it. I'm looking forward to the new one, but like you said, Eternal didn't take that and elevate it at all. So if you're going to play one in the series, start with Doom 2016. Maybe the new one. I've heard great things, but like that game was such a fantastic and miraculously still played well on even Switch. So like there's no excuse not to play this game.
Oh wow.
Play it more better if you can. But like if all you have is a Switch, it still plays ridiculously. It's one of those crazy never should happen ports, but it did. So just try it out. I'm going to rent Psychonauts 2. Great game, love platformers, but kind of to Todd's point, like it didn't really go that far above and beyond. I know the developer got to go above and beyond what they would have done independently, but it, as far as like pushing things forward in a genre, I don't know if they did that quite as well. And then Alan Wake 2, just never got into the series. Maybe it's one I should try and maybe that would elevate it, but I just never got into one or this one. So I might be missing out, but it's a return for me.
Good choices, everyone. Yeah. Well played. And you know what? I like when these tough ones, it's not like the easy ones where they're so bad. There's an obvious one, but like I could have picked other games, but we'll go on from there. Now we get into what we've been playing. This is actually the first time we're actually going to talk about modern video games. And Matt, I am probably going to tag team on your first game because I've also been playing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Expedition 33, Claire Obscure, which is definitely hot topic of the talk of the town. I'm not incredibly far. I don't know if we trust the PlayStation counter, but I think it said that I was 10 hours in.
Okay.
But knowing me, like I like walk to every nook and cranny and that damn map. The next thing I know, I walked in a circle. I'm like, wait a second. I've been here before.
Oh wait, there's a map. I haven't even found a map yet. I'm like looking where the map is.
So no, it's not like an in-game map. It's you actually walk the map.
I haven't even gotten there yet. I'm so early then. I'm way early. Hey. So there's an overmap, like the old Final Fantasy, when
you're like so like the old Final Fantasy.
Here's my party. Therefore, okay.
You're walking around. You can go to the different areas and the different zones, and you walk into like the different places. And then there's
no zone maps. There's no zone maps.
There's no maps. And it's funny because like you can press a button and you get a compass, but it's like what good is the compass?
And there's like little fairies saying go this way. Oh
nope. But the level design is
smart,
simple. The level design is simple, right? And it's like there's like a nook over there. It's it's an optional boss, or there's a nook over there, and it's like some sort of like treasure or something that you can collect, and it all like kind of funnels you back to that main path. And there's like there's some fun side areas, but they all like end up bending back and bringing you back to where you have to be. Some of the levels actually have like the flowers are all lit up. And I don't know if this is right. You're going to have to fact check me on this, but I noticed that if I'm following like certain flowers that are lit up, and then in other places, the flowers all of a sudden aren't lit up, I feel like, oh, maybe.
Is that a tell?
Maybe that's not the main path. I've never fact checked myself. I just kind of like.
That's kind of cool if they do that, though. It's kind of like a tell that doesn't say, it's not pointing arrows, but it is a helpful direction.
Yeah, and I could be totally wrong, but yeah. So you sound really early. I don't know how many party members you have right now.
I feel really dumb now because I think I'm really, really early. So for anybody who's not familiar with this game, this is a French-based studio that has made this game. This is their first major studio. They actually came over from Ubisoft. A lot of them did. And there's 30 main people in the studio, but they obviously got contractor support for certain things. It's a European turn-based RPG. So it's not Japanese because it is fully voiced with a Western viewpoint. It's got Charlie Cox. It's got remind me who else is the voice actors in this, Matt?
And Star. Why am I blanking on the woman who played Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3? Oh my god. She's so good too. But Ben Starr is one of the voices. Andy Serkis is a voice. Please somebody look up Shadowheart. That's killing me. But yeah, it's an all-star. It's a really great cast. And so far, and Charlie Cox is like even crushing it too. Like has he ever even been in a video game? Because he's like so natural. But
I don't even know it's him. Yeah. Okay. I found the list of characters. Jennifer English.
Jennifer English. Thank you. Yes.
Who is like your charge. She's younger. Christy Ryder playing Lune, which I haven't run into yet.
Lune. She is. Oh, so you haven't met Lune?
No, I've only got yourself. I've only got myself and Mael. So that's it. I'm so early on. Yeah, I'm like really early.
Yourself and Mael?
Yeah. So Charlie Cox, Gustav, and Mael.
So have you made it? Have you made the expedition over yet?
I just arrived. I'm trying to escape the expedition, I believe. Okay. No, don't worry. No, it's okay. But it's like there's also Chrissy Ryder, Shayla Nix, Andy Serkis, Ben Starr. I think those are the main actors. But I mean, the fact that this game is only priced at, I believe, $50. It's a 30-hour tight RPG. There's more to do with it. The fact that this is beautiful is amazing. It takes turn-based, but adds in that Mario RPG reaction, parry, dodge, have fun with your combat. You've got like a weapon almost that you just shoot. You recharge, then you have skills, you have items you can use. But it's very cinematic and
it's intense.
The acting is amazing. The opening sequence, the music is amazing. I feel like, wow, so many studios could learn from this. And there's not a lot of fat on the bone from what I'm seeing so far. I'm really enjoying this, which I was like, oh, this is great. So I think if you've been scared of turn-based RPGs, I always say my first option is play the South Park RPG games. Those are amazing.
Yeah, those are great.
Those are wonderful. And then this game too, if you want a little bit different to get you into what RPG, like turn-based RPGs are like, without maybe the Japanese flair that many people, it doesn't generate like me. Yeah, it's not for me. But so I'm very early on, so I'm really enjoying it. But I would say the opening moments are amazing. The whole plot is essentially there's a person called the Painter, and I guess a presence, an evil goddess. I don't know what she is, Matt, but I mean, there's a countdown that has years, and it goes from 34 to 33, and anybody who's 34, when that changes to 33, they've been snapped.
Yeah. And so they send out every year. They send out a new expedition to try to defeat the Paintress. And I mean that's all from like the base trailers and stuff like that. There's no like spoilers there. Yeah. So they go like every year. There's a new expedition, and their goal is to bring life to stop the Paintress, so that this whole event can stop. It's awesome. Really awesome.
And there was a very touching moment at the very beginning, which is like, oh God, I didn't expect that. And I talked to my son. I'm like, well, okay, but still don't want to go into it. But it is kind of interesting. Like your charge, who's far younger than you, who shouldn't be going on an expedition, she wants to go. Oh, yeah. So it's like she could die, even though she knows she may have like 6 more years of her life or whatever to go. It's pretty impressive that they included that. So she is going to be there. So, and it's kind of weird if you think about a world. Imagine if anybody, I wouldn't be around at 30, if I was 33. How could the world run with anybody? I mean, you have no experience. It's like all these things. Well, sorry guys, we can't do this anymore because all the old farts that knew how to do it are gone.
God, you have to be 30. You have to be 35 to be president. Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Like the whole population mark, they are snapped every year. Wow. It clocks down again. And this has been going on for how many years? Man, I can't remember.
So I'm still trying to make because it doesn't. I don't think it started with I think it started with Expedition 0, and then from there, I don't want to give too much. I don't want to give too much away. But
I'll just say it's been a while though. It's not been like this is like the first couple of years. Okay.
No, it's been going on for a while now. Okay. And there's a lot of like their entire lives are basically dedicated to research and trying to figure out inventing new powers and there's like a lot of like powers and stuff like that in the game, and they're trying to invent using science and a whole bunch of stuff how to create like new abilities to help the next expedition go over and help save the population. Cool. In a nutshell.
So one question, because I've only got the one party member, so it's basically very simple. It's like she goes, I go, or I go, she goes. How many party members, do you know, like, will you be like capped at like 4 party members and then swap them out? You're kept at 3. And you'll potentially have, I know a lot more because I remember when they showed the video about it, like, oh, you'll have this weird goofy dude and you'll have this and you'll have that. And it's like, so it sounds like.
Can I say, I mean, this is not like story spoilers or anything, but it is like sort of mechanic spoilers. I don't know. Is that considered a spoiler? Yeah. What's really cool about this game is you can only have 3 active members of your party, but your party builds up. And so when you're doing a battle, if you lose that battle, right, and you have other party members still available, you can bring in the backup.
Oh, cool.
So when you get that game over, the game will ask you, do you want to bring in the rest of your expedition? So it's a really nice mechanic where it's like, instead of just like, these are my 3, I'm sticking with these are my favorite. They are forcing you, no, do not forget about your other party members. Like there's like a synergy between party members and stuff like that. So, the way you build them, like they'll definitely play off of each other, but do not forget the other party members because you want to build that synergy and those levels with them, and like, because you'll bring them in to continue the battle so that you don't get that inevitable game over, because some of these fights end up getting like pretty serious. Like they're getting pretty serious. So there's a lot of great, I mean, it's not a tactical game, but there's a lot of great tactics and thought. Like I spend half my time in menus putting together like the perfect character. And I'm like, if that doesn't sound cool to you, I'm sorry. I mean, I know there's guides and stuff like that, but this game like will have you reading to find out like what works best.
It's good to hear. I like that. A lot of games where you get a lot of characters, you get your sets and you're like, you don't realize, oh, if I had upgraded those other characters or played with them, they'd be pretty awesome, but I never experienced it. So I like that they're thinking about that. It reminds me of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, where you get cool characters, but because your main characters are leveled up so high, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to start over at like level 1,
Mm,
Mhm.
So that's really cool.
yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, this game, if you have Game Pass, you're playing on PlayStation 5. I'm
Yes.
playing on Xbox Game Pass on PC. Runs great. It's amazing that this small team made this game. And we're going to talk about kind of like some games now are going to be $80 and this is $50. And it feels like,
I know.
why is this not 80 then? Because it seems like they put a lot of effort in this.
Mm.
We'll see. Okay. Moving on. Next game.
Me still?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Remedy, I am playing Max Payne for the first time. I have never
Right.
played them. That's a lie. I played Max Payne 3 when Max Payne 3 came out. I believe that was a Rockstar game officially.
Rockstar, that game that broke my Xbox 360. I couldn't play it. I kept on breaking it, so I stopped.
So I played it way back. I don't even remember. I'd have to look up when it came out, but I played Max Payne 3 and I was like, oh man, this is a great game. And then at the time, I think I played Max Payne 3 on my PS3. Was it that? I guess it was that generation. And at the time, I don't think I was able to play Max Payne 1.
Oh, Max Payne 1, PS2.
Was it PS? So,
Max
maybe there's
Payne
no.
3 was PS3 though.
Oh,
Max Payne 3 was
yes,
PS3, but I remember loving Max Payne 3. I was like, oh, I'd love to go back and play the first one. And I don't think at the time I was able to. So I am finally
Why
getting
not? No
around to it.
compatibility.
Yeah, I'm finally getting around to it now. I am playing Max Payne 1 for the very first time. I bought like Max Payne 2, and Max Payne 3 all on Steam for like, I think like $6 for like all three of them. So I'm just going to replay the entire series. And I am in what is it? Part 3 or chapter 3 or act 3, part 5, somewhere. I don't. This game is so damn great. Remedy, like this is why I'm buying Alan Wake 2, okay? Because I mean, spoilers for a game that came out in 2001. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like I'm at a part where it's like, Max Payne was like drugged, and it's like he's reading an article, and it's like, Max, it's like, I know you're feeling weird. It's like, you're in a graphic novel right now, and it's like everything is set up as a graphic novel, and then like you do this spiral, and you're back in the same room, and it's like, Max, it's like you're actually in a computer game right now. He's like, I'm in a computer game right now. And it's just like freaking Remedy breaking the fourth wall 30 years ago. Come on. Like, I mean, they're just fine. It's like Sam Lake is just like, he's right there, right? Didn't they use his face for Max Payne?
It's his face, but not his voice for the game, which was great.
I'm absolutely loving this game. So, Max Payne for the first time. I'm constantly playing a new game and trying to play the backlog at the same time. So really
I love
enjoying
that game.
one.
All those painkillers you take, the screaming babies, the weird like psycho area where it's like bloody trails.
Yep.
And I played that on PC back in 2001 when it launched. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. No games will not get any better. You've got like the Matrix, because Matrix was hot. So of course you've got like the dodge slow-mo, and you're like, your body is like flailing around, and like it doesn't make any sense, but it's still pretty cool.
And I'm playing on PC as well. Like I said, I got all three on Steam for like, I think I said like $6.
And they haven't. I heard they are doing Remedy is working with, I believe, Rockstar.
Yeah.
And they're doing remakes of Max Payne 1, I believe.
Yes, that's what I heard, but who knows when. So exactly. I'm like, I'll play this because it was like 98 cents, and
that's pretty.
I'm experiencing it. I'm experiencing what Sam Lake's vision was.
Yes.
Amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And then finally, I will be, for my, like I stream on Tuesday nights, and I just finished the Thaumaturge. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one. It is a turn-based RPG. It's just like a CRPG, or it's got like that isometric view. It takes place in like early 1900s Warsaw. One of the main characters is Rasputin, so it uses like some historical fiction. And thaumaturges are basically like temperamancers. Like, they battle and deal. It's like from Polish lore. And they battle and deal with like monsters and beings for like, and the dead. And this game was off the chart. It was so good. The story was so interesting. And it's like a detective game. Like, and a lot of games I think are finally getting like decisions correctly, like choice-based games like Baldur's Gate 3 like was just flawless in terms of like their decision making. But this game low key, like decisions really mattered. And like the world around you was really affected. They blocked off certain paths, they blocked off certain choices in conversation. It's like, you can't do that because you already made this choice. The game plays off of flaws. So your main character has a flaw of pride. So if you like give prideful answers, if your pride is too high, you can't go with certain choices. If your pride is too low, you can't go with certain choices. So you really have to play around with like the decisions you make. It was also pretty heavy. So like I just rolled credits on that, and I'm going to stream a very different, lighthearted Revenge of the Savage Planet. And I'm looking forward to just some ridiculous fun. I know it's on PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass, and I'm looking forward to just wacky, like a wacky good time.
I played the what was the name of the Savage Planet?
I think it was Return to the Savage Planet.
I liked it. It was fun. It was a very light game. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, this game was actually someone recommended it to me in the stream, and I checked it out. I'm like, man, this looks so familiar. And like, when I looked up that it was a sequel, I was like, oh man, I remember like dabbling with this. It was only I feel like it was 2019 or 2020.
It was on Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I dabbled with it.
It was 2020.
2020. Yeah. I might've played it during the lockdown, maybe for like a night or two. But I'm just looking forward to screwing around.
Gotta love it. Yeah. I've been checking out when you've been playing the Thermitage. And I've been watching. I'm like, that looks really interesting. Yeah, it's that interesting view. So I didn't even see you do any combat, so I didn't even get there. But you were talking about kind of like doing the descriptive part. So I didn't know exactly like if it was just more of a like kind of like one of those action games where you're like looking for clues and you're just going through. I didn't know there was no combat, to be honest.
Oh no, there was a few points where like I was like, oh my gosh, another combat encounter. No, like it's a turn-based game. You really have like the freedom to like mix and match all of your abilities and where you want to put them, and then you use like these I guess these monsters per se that you inherit. They're called like salutors, and you use them in combat. And like they're like some of the, like one's a crowd control, has like that crowd control ability, one has like a healing ability, and you really mix and match. It's very strategic. Like you can't just go in there and like, it's not like for example, Expedition 33. It's not like, ability, attack, heal. It's like I said, you have to think like 5 steps ahead, and they show you like what each character is doing in each round. So you can see like the next 3 or 4 rounds so that you can prepare. It's like almost like a game of chess. Like you really have to prepare your moves, and some of these encounters can last you like 15, 20 minutes. They're intense. They are intense, but like I said, they're strategic and fun, and they really make you think.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, good luck with Savage Planet.
Yes, thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Mark, I'm interested in this one. It's been in my GameFly queue.
Yeah, I've been playing some very less heady games than the Thaumaturge, but I've been playing Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. I think we just saw it on sale or something. I can't remember, but Finn's been asking about Power Rangers. We watched a couple of episodes of like the original like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Into it. So I said like, and he loved Shredder's Revenge. Absolutely loved it. Loves those kind of side scroll and beat 'em ups. They're very simple to understand for like a very close to 5-year-old. And Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, if you played Shredder's Revenge, you know exactly what to expect from this game. You pick your ranger and you go through the story. There's little collectibles in each one, but it's just a really fun, solid beat 'em up game. Don't expect too much more from what I've played so far. Now there are a variety of stages So not every single one of them is just simply a side scroller beat 'em up. There are also vehicle stages where you're driving through a level and aiming at different things. There's one level that's on a roller coaster and you're shooting things, sometimes shooting things to the side, sometimes shooting things directly in front of you. The camera will change, not in a like weird, make you sick kind of way, but like in a pretty clever way for something that's emulating or a Super Nintendo game essentially. And then there's the Megazord stages, which are the only ones that that gave Finn a hard time, because those ones are very specific, like learn the pattern of the giant, Rita makes the giant monsters and then all the Dinozords combine and make the Megazord, and you're a giant robot. And it's at that point becomes basically Punch Out Light, where you have to learn monsters pattern and dodge left, dodge right, and go forward. And Finn was having a lot of trouble. Like he could kind of get the dodging, but kind of forgot to move forward. And then he'd start moving forward and forget to dodge left and right. And then when you get within range, it's left punch, right punch, and the bad guy will kind of move to one side of the screen and you have to actually punch where they're going. You can't just spam right punch, right punch, right punch, because the enemy will start to lean a little bit left and then you have to hit them with that left hook. So for those ones, very happy we were able to play 2-player. But the annoying thing is if you're playing 2 or more players, you take turns with those Megazord fights. For every other stage, you're on the stage together. You're always, you can be kicking butt over here, they're kicking butt over there. For those ones, it goes to an individual gameplay loop. And you play until you get hit or it decides, okay, and there's a little cut scene and it flashes back to the Rangers sitting inside and they say, all right, I'm going to take over. And then it's the next person's turn. And so he would get really frustrated and I couldn't even really take the controller because I'd have to be ready for when my controller kicked in. So it got to a point where it was just kind of like him getting his ass kicked for 2 seconds. It's switching back over to me defeating the giant monster, and then us going back. And he got frustrated at that a couple of times, but not so much that we stopped playing. So we've been playing the hell out of this. It's a lot of fun. If you like Super Nintendo side scroller, beat 'em up kind of ninja games. If you don't, probably skip it.
It looks fun. It looks really fun.
It does.
A ton of fun. It is on sale on Switch. I believe it's still on sale, or it was. But either way, it's well worth the money that we spent on it. It's so far just super throwback kind of Super Nintendo mindless beat 'em up with a few fun levels thrown in there and enough collectibles that you'll want to go back and be like, damn it, I missed one collectible in the second stage. I need to go back and play that.
Yeah, that's what we did with Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a great game. I think
if you liked Shredder's, go back.
Pointing correctly, I think that's my steel book for Shredder's Revenge.
Nice.
But and you know what? Didn't Luke, Xbox Expansion Pass, didn't he like do a review for Power Rangers? He's a
believe so, and I believe he talked to the developers,
right?
Developers too.
Yeah, he's a huge Power Rangers fan.
Oh yeah.
I used to be obsessed with the Power Rangers as a kid.
Me too.
But when I saw that game, I was like, oh man, like my 9-year-old, I was like, we co-opted Ninja Turtles together. That's the perfect game to co-op, and I think you might have just convinced me to make another Nintendo Switch purchase.
Yeah, if you liked Shredder's Revenge and you want that kind of co-op, because it's definitely better in co-op. I've been playing it myself just to not play with a 5-year-old and get all the collectibles and play it at my own pace and not like skip through all the Power Rangers story, but like who cares? But also I kind of care.
Yes, you do.
We care.
Because I might as well, but it's so much more fun with someone else. So if you can like sit there and play with, one of the kids that has more than a 4-year-old's attention span. Yeah, do that. Absolutely. I got so into it that I watched Power Rangers Once and Always on Netflix. Like the one that they just did.
Like the look back, right? With Tommy.
Okay.
Well, no, it's like a new thing. It's like an hour long.
Oh, that's right.
The original Rangers returning and kind of like telling a new story, and they're all older. It got the original Billy and Zach. They were the
Billy
only
and
two
Zach.
originals. But they play it off like I thought it was kind of clever. The story is very Power Rangers. Don't go in expecting like Cobra Kai kind of like levels.
I mean, if you got
Girls
anything,
have become touched and emotional and
yeah, if we got
crying.
anything that was really good, I think I'd be disappointed. You know what I mean? Like,
no, like don't go in expecting like a gritty reboot or something like that, or like something that takes itself seriously like Cobra Kai. It was Power Rangers through and through. But touching parts, looking back at like Trini, the original Yellow Ranger who passed away years ago, and they like killed her in the movie. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say because it happens in the trailer, and she's not in the poster and all that kind of stuff. And it happens in the first 3 seconds, but it carries like an emotional weight, and it treats her legacy really well. And I think this was filmed before why am I blanking on his name?
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy
Green Ranger passed away. Yep.
Tommy.
Jason David Frank.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
He was green. He was white. He was he was a lot of different color Rangers.
So that it wasn't in it, but I think it did wrap filming before he passed away, but it does play like a clever little thing with the original Ranger team and being able to show people who did return and kind of writing it in and bringing back some other people that were on later Ranger teams or in like movies and that kind of stuff. So it was a fun, mindless watch on Netflix that was completely inspired by playing this game with my son. So it's been a Power Rangers week, which I thought was really fun.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's really cool. I mean, I'm at a certain age where when I was in college, that's when Power Rangers debuted. I'm really old, like I said. But my son really got into Power Rangers, and he did get to have a karate lesson from Jason David Frank, and he was really into Power Rangers. And we did see the most recent movie reboot where they tried to do it, which was actually pretty good. I actually will admit it. I know a lot of people didn't care for it.
On the way back from Florida. Just we really enjoyed it. That was good. Yeah. My brother and I were talking about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to watch that movie on the way home."
So I'll recommend to Logan. Maybe we can watch that Power Rangers show that you mentioned it, because I think he is probably going to get certain to a age where he gets nostalgic about Power Rangers because he's of a certain age. They all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one of the Dino Thunder Power Rangers on my Xbox friends list that I met at a con a couple years ago. Yeah. Power Rangers is like, it weirdly like stuck around, and I didn't really realize that until I interviewed these two guys at the con that were in Dino Thunder, and it was like, holy shit, like this is still around, and there's so much like history and like 30 something years of like canon and stories, and like every generation has their Power Rangers. So like your son probably maybe didn't start with Mighty Morphin, but jumped in for something else, and it's wild and very cool to see. And then you get awesome little games like Power Rangers Rita's Rewind.
I'm glad that they're finally getting a good game, right?
Yeah.
There's been a few bombs. Do we have like a last Ronin type of Power Rangers? Like how like Last Ronin.
There's been some comics. Yeah, there's been some comics that have been touching on that in the most modern era, like with Pink Ranger, and they've been doing something. So there's, if you want to reach out to like find out like what the best new comics are with Power Rangers, there's actually some really good ones. There was like Pink Ranger series. Yeah.
Like some M rated, but like how Last Ronin was like adult rated Turtles, like
not adult, but I would say more elevated Power Rangers comics. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all comics.
It's Pink.
Don't expect that from the Netflix special, like the once and for like, because I kind of wanted them to do that with it, because I just saw this thing of like, and like I said, in the poster, it's like only for the Rangers. So you're like, okay, they like one of the Rangers is going to die. Are they going after like the revenge kind of thing? Are they, like what's the angle of this? Are they treating it, like I said, like it's Netflix? Are they doing like the Cobra Kai? Let's take this seriously. Let's like, elevate it or Last Ronin kind of thing. Don't go in expecting that. But like Todd, you're saying that there's comics. So that's
They are. Yeah. They basically got some really good writers to really expand the Power Rangers verse and storytelling. So if you're looking for that, there's a bunch that are out there that are really good.
Yeah.
And they've actually just rebooted again. Boom Studios has been doing a great job with them.
I think, I'm trying to remember how long back, but I was definitely reading and I think it was more nostalgia than anything else, but I was definitely reading a Power Rangers comic series, but we're going back a few years.
Yeah.
But I was just curious, like, did they like because if you think about it, like Power Rangers is, I want to say I was like when did Mighty Morphin come out? Like the mid 90s?
1993 or 94.
Holy shit, that's
93. I was going to say
I was in college. I remember the commercials for it.
I was going to say 96, but I guess I'm wrong. So like if that was 93, then I'm like in maybe like 4th grade at the time. So I remember you got 40 something year olds that started off on this. It's like, when are they going to elevate it to our level?
Yeah.
That would be like an interesting twist.
Yeah. I'm 40. I'm like that same kind of like sweet spot that I'm like, can we get something a little bit more serious?
Yeah.
That like, I want that like Last Ronin kind of like,
that would be cool.
Take the gritty Power Rangers and do that movie. I said, don't expect that from this Netflix thing. Maybe they'll do that eventually, but like, yeah, it was a fun little like random put on for an hour and eat a snack. Gonna watch.
Can't wait for people to get excited for Beetleborgs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or VR, what is it? VR Troopers and
gritty reboot of Biker Mice from Mars. You know what I did see today? They're re-releasing. We're so off topic right now. Street Sharks. Okay. They're coming out with some new Funko Pops.
Once again, has anybody watched the clip where Vin Diesel's selling Street Sharks?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Oh my!
As a big Vin Diesel fan and a big Street Sharks fan, I have seen that clip. Yeah, I love stuff coming back. That's great. The only other game I'm playing to try to like swing us back into topic a little bit. We had Star Wars week. Star Wars stuff. So Fortnite has gone full Star Wars. I've been playing the hell out of that and absolutely loving it. And also tried for the first time, somehow skipped this game always.
Really?
Star Wars Bounty Hunter, where you're playing as Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Skipped that game on the original release. They did the play it free for a weekend with Nintendo Switch Online. So I said, screw it. It's free. I'll try it. Played the first couple of levels and then said, this is on sale for a ridiculous amount. And I bought that and several other Star Wars games that were all on sale. That are those little like Aspire style re-releases that they do. So I've been playing my way through Bounty Hunter and I'm going to get to the rest. So yay for classic Star Wars stuff. I'll be talking to those, I'm sure, for the next few episodes.
Yeah, I feel like that was like that released around the time of Max Payne, right? Wasn't that like the early 2000s Bounty Hunter?
Oh, it was PlayStation 2. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember playing that on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
That was a great game. That was a great game. Oh, I might want to add that back to the list now. Man, you got some good stuff going on there.
And Mark, I don't think we even mentioned that new Star Wars game is coming out, Zero Company, which is essentially a XCOM Star Wars game. Yeah. Or you would say Mario Rabbids style. Yeah.
Can't wait for that. There's another one for Quest, exclusively for Quest 3 and 3S, I believe, that uses mixed reality and lets you work on pod racers and then race them.
That's cool.
So it's like, I think you at one point either work for or work with or maybe against Sebulba, but Sebulba from episode 1 is in this. And
is Watto and his racist ass in it too?
More than likely, if Sebulba's in it.
It's going to sell more children, buy more children into slavery.
I can't wait to see like some mixed reality stuff of like a pod racer in my living room. That's going to be trippy as hell. Or like just
racing a pod racer in VR. Like, is there a bucket that you're going to throw up into as well?
Bucket not included, but yeah, I'm going to need that. It's
you look over and it's Sebulba, giving you the side eye.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So there's some good Star Wars stuff all around.
Very, very cool. Well, I'm just going to wrap this up. Talk about Expedition 33. Really cool. Doom: The Dark Ages comes out the 15th. So I believe this Friday or Thursday dates don't matter. I will be playing more of that, and then more things are coming, which is just crazy. But been playing more Oblivion. That's fun. I do feel like it's not grabbing me as much as Skyrim because it does feel kind of dated, but it's beautiful. So it's yeah. There you go. I love Skyrim so much, and now it feels like it's a prettier version, and I'm like, I will play this if it's prettier. Now it's there, and I'm like, I don't know. It's going to be a long game. I appreciate what they're doing. I like the story. I like the fact that, Patrick Stewart's in it. It's fun. Don't love the combat, but it's fine. I got, like, tell Matt, my first death, I just got killed by a rat in this game. So rat of an unusual size. So, but I am enjoying it. I'm waiting to get really the feel for more combat in this game with, like, the dual wielding of, like, magic in this. Right now, I feel like I'm more of a warrior, even though I'm trying to be in a magic class, so I feel like I haven't figured out when I'm going to get the magic. So I'm trying to figure that out. It's a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, I played Oblivion, at launch, and it definitely not. I mean, at the time, it was like everything. I missed Morrowind and Daggerfall and stuff, and I tried going back to Morrowind not too long, like just a few months ago, and it's like it's almost unplayable. And what's even more unplayable is the Elder Scrolls Arena. That game is free.
Oh yeah,
by the way,
Daggerfall's
you can get
Arena?
that game for free. That's the very first Elder Scrolls game. It's like 1993 or something, and it is talk about getting killed by a rat. You can't even look down. But that's gonna be my summer game. Like everyone was worried, like, oh my god, Oblivion and Clear Obscure same week, and I'm like Oblivion's a fucking 25-year-old game, man. Like
it'll be there for you when you come back to it. Yeah,
I'm going to be playing Expedition 33.
Yeah. For me, it's Avowed. I think I'm going to go back to Avowed because I really, really loved Avowed because I loved what they do with movement and combat in that game. Obviously, it's not as deep as the Elder Scrolls, but I do like what they do with it because I really liked Outer Worlds too. So very excited with that. And then once again, my rider died. Chris and I are still playing more Split Fiction. It's like a booty call, but it's just a Split Fiction call. He goes, Split Fiction tonight? And I'm like, no, podcast. He's like, so he feels like, so I'm like, aw, like, we can podcast with us. Yeah, exactly. It's so much fun. And I don't buy a lot of games, but Gamefly, I said, hey, Gamefly, I'll buy this game off of you. And it was $30. So I saved like $20 and they're going to send me all the packaging and I'll get it. And I got to keep this game forever. So there you go. Split Fiction. It's so much fun. It's a great game. If you got a spouse that likes to play games, you got a buddy that wants to play couch co-op, a friend. And the cool thing is, if anyone wants to play with me, you can play for free because I got a game. You just have to be an EA online member. You say Game with Todd, we'll play. So
cool.
Open invitation to anybody who wants to play for free.
Todd and Chris have an open relationship. Do it that way.
Well, she doesn't like video games, Mark. So what else am I going to do? Got to keep it open. Yes, we do. Yes. Well, I mean, I don't want to cheat on Chris. I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, but I will play. And I played with Logan couch co-op too, so it's fun to play with him, and then play online with anybody else who wants to play. So there we go. That's what I've been playing, and I have many more games. When I just looked at what's coming, and I'm like, oh my god, Donkey Kong's coming in July, and I'm so excited.
Oh,
so
that
is it for what we've been gaming, but now it's time to get into the bonus round. Hey, Secret Friends Unite, let me tell you about Zencastr. We use them for our show, and now they're supporting us. Zencastr is now the all-in-one solution making podcasting easy. It's the ultimate web-based podcasting solution. Provides high-quality audio and video podcast production and hosting. With a full suite of professional tools, podcasters can seamlessly record, produce, and publish studio-quality content, all from one dashboard. Being a creator has never been easier. And we chose Zencastr because of the ease of use, high quality output, and it makes it super easy for our guests to come on. We had multiple solutions we tried before, and Zencastr has just been the best fit for us. Why Zencastr? It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sounds and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Have you ever worried what you sound like? Zencastr's post-production process makes you sound buttery smooth. It automatically removes those ums and ahs in your recording. It removes those awkward pauses in conversation too. Set the right podcast loudness and levels while reducing background noise with the click of a button. So if you're interested in making an easy, high-quality podcast just with the click of a browser button, go to Zencastr.com/pricing and use my code SFU1. You'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Now back to the show. It's time for the bonus round. And this topic is all about the console industry as we know it. It's got some challenges. And the question is, can it evolve to survive? We've had many instances where we thought the consoles were going to die. We had the original crash with Atari where E.T. apparently was not a good game. Neither was Pac-Man. Did not work well. There's a landfill over in New Mexico. I think they finally found the games. That's been solved. Nintendo saved the day. Yeah. Nintendo saved the day. And we got consoles. And they've been great. They're doing great. And then we got into COVID, and then it was like, oh no. But even before then, I remember when people thought consoles were going to die with the PS4 and Xbox One because everybody was all in on mobile handhelds. Oh my goodness. Why would you have a console when you can have an iPad or an iPhone and play games there? And, PS4 defied the odds and Switch came in and wow. And then COVID came and everybody couldn't get enough gaming and you couldn't even buy consoles. But now we've got some new challenges. I'm going to list all these challenges off as, these. I don't want to depress everybody, but we're going to solve the problem because we're going to come up with a great solution for this. So gaming industry, please listen. So issues that have come about are consoles are not the first choice of gaming for kids these days. Mobile, Roblox, things like that, free to play. It's big, especially with teachers who talk about what their kids are doing, what they're playing. Kids are typically not buying consoles unless their parents are doing it. We've got Switch 2, maybe too pricey for the mainstream, meaning, $500 for the Mario Kart bundle. If you want Animal Crossing, that's, an extra $80. We don't have a Switch, cheap Switch to offer to the masses at this point. GTA 6 has been delayed. So this was like the Hail Mary for the industry that's going to really drive next-gen console sales. That's not happening because that game was delayed until May 2026. Xbox gets tariff edition pricing, meaning if you just watched it, Xbox now has gone up on an average of about $100 per console, anywhere from the S series to the weird like a deluxe edition that they came out that's $720. All their accessories and peripherals got more expensive. Switch 2 did come out with their new pricing, but all of their accessories got more expensive. We're getting an Xbox ROG Ally apparently that was revealed. That's supposed to be part of the Xbox ROG or the ROG Ally 2. There'll be an Xbox version of that, but potentially at $800. And then PlayStation has a lean 2025. I think Ghost of Yote is their only first-party title they'll be producing this year. So, I mean, are we in all a good mood after I said all those bad things?
I'm in a great mood. Video games.
Yeah. At least it's not. My fear when Nintendo announced their pricing was that Nintendo was going to price themselves out of the market. They were going to have another 3DS launch Wii U problem where they were going to be priced way too high comparatively, and they still might be. But when everyone else starts raising prices, maybe Nintendo just, read the tea leaves a little faster than everyone else. And because they're ramping up production of a new console and they see these tariffs coming in and this and that and whatever else, it seems like they kind of got ahead of it. And then Xbox was like, hey, everyone hates Nintendo's pricing, so let's announce our price increase now. And I don't think they got I know they got a lot of hate for it, but I don't know if it was quite as much of a shock or quite as much hate as Nintendo got for launching the new console from what I was seeing anyway. Like, it was a lot of, but a lot of like, oh my God, can you believe this? But it didn't last as long as like, I can't believe how expensive the Switch 2 is, you know? But like, at least everything's rising. So you can point the fingers at why and where, and
do we
read into that where you
expect
want to.
Nintendo to though set the bar for $80 pricing? That's the thing that was like for games. That was the surprising part, especially like a game like Breath of the Wild, where it's
I
mean,
think,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys watch like Kit and Krista used to work for Nintendo. I'll watch their podcasts and their videos every once in a while, but I've been watching a bit of their Switch 2 coverage, and Krista, I think, really hit it on the head, where it's, you have to, I mean, like, you were talking earlier about how expensive games used to be. Like Matt remembering, like, it was a $75 30 years ago. Like, adjust that for inflation, and we've got way cheaper games now.
Yeah.
I think what it's going to hurt, or Krista used the example of like Princess Peach Showtime. Like,
Mhm.
you're not going to play that game. You're not going to just get that game on a whim. You're not going to get mediocre games anymore. So I really hope it brings more flexible pricing. One thing with Nintendo that I don't think's been mentioned enough in the discussion of like an $80 game is Nintendo usually does complete games and single edition games. And I think we've kind of glazed over the fact that like a base game on Xbox or PlayStation might be $60 or might be $70 or whatever it is. But every single game that's released has a deluxe edition and an ultimate edition and a deluxe ultimate superstar edition and an early adapters deluxe superstar edition.
3 days
that
early
will
access
also
on
make you more
Xbox where they,
handsy. Like,
Yeah.
it's all that kind of shit. I saw it today as soon as I started up my Xbox. It was, hey, if you buy the Doom Premium Edition right now, you can play it right now. Do you want to play it 3 days earlier?
Yeah, it's like
Click
2
the button,
days
you
or something,
stupid
right?
monkey. Like, that's what my Xbox was screaming at me today. And I don't think Nintendo's doing that same thing with Donkey Kong. I think they're just saying, like, here's the game. It's complete. They haven't said anything about DLC or anything else. So if this is like a complete game that you don't have to pay for a season pass and you don't have to do that, where I'm looking at like, let's say Star Wars Bounty Hunters or something like that, that like came out as a normal priced game, but then they were like, well, here's the next 2 expansions and this DLC and that thing. It's like $150 game. And it's like, well, shit, $80 doesn't sound too bad for something that's complete and it's a one-time purchase. Now, maybe Nintendo will start nickel and diming and doing DLC and all that bullshit. But I think Nintendo doing $80 but having it as a complete package could also set a precedent of like, hey, we see your deluxe edition and we raise you an $80 complete game. Copy that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it could be a challenge depending on how they roll it out and how they do it.
It does feel weird though that Donkey Kong is a brand new game, not been around forever, is 70, yet Breath of the Wild is now 80. So that to me feels like it's a very odd, because they've already sold off for, it feels like it's just, and someone has best said, Nintendo is selling these games for that price because they can. It's not because they are saying it's more effort or doing more things or they're growing their teams to do this. Like, they have had how many years of Mario Kart 8 where they didn't have to do much except say, make it a little bit better and things like that. So they are banking so much money in the Mario Kart world is 80 versus Donkey Kong. So it just feels like it's a very odd thing to say, well, Donkey Kong's probably not as full of a game as World, yet we know there'll be a track pack and things like that. So let's just put it this way, Mark, there will be more dollars added to Mario Kart World because they will do it, because they added an extra track pack that you could get the NSO. And so I hate to say it, Mark, these aren't complete editions. There'll be more money that will sell you with, because they did it with Deluxe 8, right? Because that became potentially a $90 game with track packs. So,
but the way they did it with that was it not, again, not an at launch thing. This was, it launched at this price and then there's DLC later. The thing that pisses me off is like, here's the base game at launch. It kind of sucks. And you pay $60 or $70 for that. if you want the complete edition that comes with the stuff that we should have finished before we launch this game, but it's coming out in the next 6 to 9 months, then buy this edition, and that's already $100 or 110 or 120. So that's where it's like, is Nintendo raising the prices, or are they just kind of like catching up because everyone else releases broken?
They went to 70 with that thing made me laugh. They went to 70 with Tears of the Kingdom, and they said, "Oh, 60 minutes. We're going to go right to 80." So they essentially went to 70 once, and then said that's not enough. So it just feels weird that the industry went from 60. PlayStation said 70, everybody went, and it's like, oh, now 80. It's like, ooh, it's getting really rough. So it is interesting, and we're not putting blame on Nintendo. It just is very funny because they're the ones that are supposed to be the family console, and now that they're the most expensive games out there before anybody else, is like, sorry kids, save up more money, just like Matt did. Yeah,
right. My allowance wasn't 2K the first game that hit 70, like NBA 2K something or other?
PlayStation, I think, did 70 first party, but I think 2K was the first one that's 70 like third party.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like my whole thing with like Nintendo was all about accessibility, right? Like you had a console that was cheaper. It was aimed towards families. It was aimed towards kids asking their parents. And it's like when you saw the $400 price tag for a PlayStation, and then you saw the $290 or the $300 price tag for the Nintendo, and whose grandma doesn't know what a Nintendo is? Nintendo has been a name that's been around for freaking like 40 something years. So that original Nintendo Switch was so successful. It was so underpowered, right? We call it like the potato or whatever like that. And now Nintendo's got this pretty big price hike, and essentially you're getting an Xbox One or a PS4. And so,
well, I would say it's a better comparative to like a Steam Deck. Yeah. You're getting a Steam Deck that actually outperform a Steam Deck that also comes with a dock that will actually make it even a better performance. So that's the hard part. So this is a unique set of hardware that is gonna be hard to compare it to anything else.
So if we're comparing it to a Steam Deck,
yep,
isn't a Steam Deck a niche item? Like, how many people own a Steam Deck?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They think all of the handheld PCs, maybe 5 million total, 6 million total, in that range. But you're right, it is a niche item.
So does Nintendo Switch 2, like, is it losing any of that mainstream luster with this price hike then? Like, if we're comparing
mainstream, yes. Yeah, I would absolutely say it's mainstream going to be painful, but the early adopters, the passionate folks, $13 million, the 13 million people who bought a Wii U are going to be all over this.
My dentist bought a Wii U. I played it when I got my teeth cleaned.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mine had GameCubes. Mine had GameCubes for my son. Yeah.
I really wonder if Nintendo's, again, reading some statistics or reading some tea leaves here and wondering if the first point on your list is kids aren't playing consoles. Kids aren't rushing to consoles. They have tablets and they have phones and they have things that are good enough to play Roblox. And does Nintendo care if it's a niche product? Or do they think consoles and gaming in general are going to be a niche product unless you have a phone? Like, is that where the casual audience is going? Finally, we've been saying this for years, like, is casual kind of going that way? And the Switch, I think, was a unique proposition and came in at the right time, and pandemic and Animal Crossing and all this kind of shit. But like, is Nintendo accepting that they can't catch lightning in a bottle twice? And they're just like, here's a gaming tablet. Buy this instead of a Steam Deck. We're going to have Nintendo games. If you want it, great. If not, play friggin' Mario Run on your phone and leave us alone. Like, does Nintendo care anymore? Or should anyone care about a casual market? Or is that just a pipe dream that like gaming just shouldn't really worry about? Like, is that what Xbox is trying to do with Game Pass on everything, you know, cloud gaming and all that kind of stuff? Like, is that the solution that's going to work for this? Is like free to play on your phone, Apple Arcade, App Store stuff, or like maybe streaming, but like Game Pass isn't really blowing up the way I think Xbox wants it to on like a, Fire Stick or something. So is Nintendo just watching all of this and being like, frig it, let's compete with the Steam Deck and show them how to do a gaming handheld for the people that want gaming handhelds and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, are they happy with that?
Well, like, I feel like, right. Like, so how, like the Switch market in Japan was like off the charts, right?
Yes.
I mean, like that handheld. So, and it caught fire here. I had a Game Boy, I had a Game Gear, like handhelds were cool. Like handhelds were, my 3DS is over on the shelf over here somewhere. And then, I think the Switch just kind of brought it back. I mean, and then like, if you think about it, like, what was it? Like only like a year or two where Nintendo's like, oh, hey, guess what, guys? We turned on a Switch on our side, and now you can use Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I am sure the Switch 2 has like a trick or two up its sleeve where it's like in a couple of years, it's like, oh guys, guess what? You're welcome. And they do something, like something happens, some update happens. I'm sure they have to be right there. There's so much forward thinking in consoles, right? Like, the PS5 comes out, they already know what the PS6 is. Like, the Xbox Series comes out, they already know what the next one is. So they got to know, there's got to be something, because like their whole thing was, like, in my opinion, accessibility, right? They reached families. And I'll tell you right now, when I saw that price, I told my son, I'm not staying up at midnight, man. We're good with the Switch 1 for like, this kid's still playing Tears of the Kingdom. He's got 250 damn hours in this game. I was like, you're still good.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Mark, you make a great opinion, because I think at this point, Nintendo realizes that maybe the Switch was an anomaly, and they are going to maximize their dollars. We see this with a lot of consoles. If you can't grow the audience, what do? Get more money out of the existing people that are passionate about it. Yeah. Now that Nintendo has a system with the Switch 2 that will get the games out there that people want, it may not grow because COVID is hard to duplicate. Animal Crossing is not coming out day one. And it's hard to tell the casuals to say, well, you can get an Animal Crossing. It's only going to cost you $530 to play Animal Crossing. That is hard versus like maybe $200 for a Switch Lite plus the game.
Do they even care about, like, do they think they can capture the Animal Crossing crowd again, or was that game released at a perfect time,
lightning in a bottle,
when everyone was stuck inside and looking for a way to connect, and they came out with this Animal Crossing game that they had worked on for years,
right?
And it just happened to launch during a pandemic.
It had never been that
when
big
everyone
before.
was like, "Can I please come to your island?" I think Nintendo is realistically looking at this and being like, okay, Animal Crossing sold 100 million units. The next one's going to do 20, because when the hell is that going to happen again? Because that one shouldn't have happened. So, like, do they even care about trying to replicate that? They're hoping it doesn't replicate, because who wants another friggin' global pandemic? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I think they're being realistic about it. And like, to your point, like, I think they're looking at like, how can we kind of maximize dollars without really being able to grow our pool?
And Nintendo doesn't have all of its eggs in one basket anymore. They have they also have a little bit of a theme park going on. They have franchises. Yeah. So I think this is where Nintendo always wanted to go. They just couldn't, because they couldn't get past their own failures in the past. Or like, we don't want to do that. Now I feel like they feel like we can have gaming as an arm of creating IP that can be leveraged, that can create a lot of revenue for us. And so we know it's going to happen. So I think they can play the game well and say, well, this makes sense for the hardcore, but maybe we have another Animal Crossing app that is in its space, because they just released that one Animal Crossing app where now it's like it's $20 and it's it. And you do it. So I think there's a way that Nintendo can play the game, get bigger, reach out to people with saying, you don't have to buy a $500 system to play our game, because quite honestly, your iPhone is probably more powerful than the Switch 2. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to guess. Yeah. But so I think Nintendo will be okay. I just think they're not. I think people are just going to be in a spot where they have to realize that, like a lot of people, getting multiple Switches in a household will be very expensive at this price point. Especially,
it instantly killed us getting to.
Yeah. And then think about like Mario Kart World, $80 a piece. and then having separate copies. Obviously, they've done better work to get shared copies and things like that, but it is a challenge. So I think Nintendo's in a good spot. Now let's talk about the other guys.
Yeah.
GTA 6 was supposed to spark the next gen console. It's only coming to PS6, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. There's no PC port at launch. There isn't. There never has
but
been.
Rockstar, I don't think ever launches on PC. Right?
Exactly, they don't. It's always a year later, and then what I heard there is they're delaying this so they can get GTA Online at launch. They previously didn't. When they did GTA 5, it was delayed a year. So that's why it's going to hit. So the whole point was, hey, this is a next-gen only game that would push consoles. Call of Duty is still not only on next-gen. I think the only game that's been next-gen that really pushed boxes has been the NCAA football game. Everything else has been Madden's still on the old gen. So I think the problem with this adoption is there's not been many games that have really required you to upgrade that are the mainstream games. So that's a challenge. And then Xbox, which has not been growing in the console space, they're about 32 million for the Xbox Series. And they will probably end up less than Xbox One, which is scary. And they also increase their price. So if people aren't buying their consoles at the cheaper price, they aren't going to buy it when it's more expensive. So the only growth opportunity for Game Pass at this point, it's why Game Pass on PC has not increased, is because PC is where it's growing. So I'm just wondering with Xbox now, and Xbox is now a publisher, and their top 3 games on PlayStation were Xbox games, from a publishing standpoint. So I'm just curious. I mean, when it comes to Xbox future, if people think it's going to be hardware, I think hardware will be there if you want it. It just will be a very niche, very expensive, or a PC. I think that's where you'll be with Xbox, if you're okay with that, because they're going to expand the UI potentially to this ROG Ally system, and maybe to PC as well. So what do you guys think about Xbox? I mean, are you okay with that? Are you okay with Xbox not having a hardware option, but I can play my Xbox games elsewhere?
On a personal note, the Xbox price hike got me even more money on my Xbox trade-in last week. Nice. I did trade in my Series S. I got $270, and it would cost me what, $299 when I first bought it.
Damn.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, I think, and this is not my own opinions. There's been a lot going on that we've been listening to over the past week or so about the Xbox prices going up, but I think, and then with a few of mine, kind of added in, but Xbox, I don't think, is trying to sell you the console anymore. So and we're at a point in this generation where in previous generations, prices have gone down. And right now prices are going up. And I know a lot of people are looking at, and it's you got your fanboys that will say Xbox prices are going up. It's Sony raised their prices in other countries a while ago, right? Yeah. I know we're not talking about it maybe as much because it didn't happen in the US, but I think Canada got a price hike, and a lot of other countries got price hikes over time. I don't know if Canada got one, but I mean, PlayStation has raised prices as well, and then you had Nintendo coming out with their price, and so Xbox pushing the price up, and it's I'm looking at the Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition is $730. You can buy a PS5 Pro for less.
Yes.
So it's I don't think Microsoft is trying to sell you this console. I think they're trying to now, so where is their direction? It's got to be going into Game Pass. How long is Game Pass going to last now at the price that it's at? That's what has me scared.
Where can Game Pass go? Right, it can't go on Nintendo. Nintendo's going to have it. It's not going to go on PlayStation. They're not going to have it. So
the only thing that's going to happen is the price goes up. I have a threshold for Game Pass. As much as I love Game Pass, there's a point where it's whoa, and that's a little too much per month. And with the prices going up, Like, and everyone's like, oh, stack your Game Pass subscriptions and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. Like,
Good.
I've done it.
Even good luck with that. You cannot find deals on CD keys anymore. And Mark,
No.
you were talking about, you can't
Yeah.
find it. So those deals are going away. So like even discount Game Pass is going to be a thing of the past.
Yeah. CD keys completely, like you can't get stuff, because they eliminated the so how CD keys worked is they'd find a place where Game Pass was cheaper. So Brazil was a lot of the stuff that was coming from there. But they used to have it, if you bought it there, you could buy the worldwide Game Pass. You could apply it anywhere. So they buy it cheap down there. They'd give it to you at a steep discount. So now they've made that where it doesn't unlock it worldwide. So that's why you see CD keys running out of worldwide keys, because it doesn't exist anymore. So they've absolutely killed that market. So if you might be able to find it like I just did for a couple of bucks cheaper on Amazon when I just renewed a couple of weeks ago, but nowhere near the discounts that you used to. So there's a threshold, and I'm with you right there.
Yeah,
like,
or you got guys like me who I'm signed up automatically. I use Game Pass, and every month I get tacked, and I don't even notice.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the hell is Microsoft charging? I was like, oh yeah, that's Game Pass. Like, it's just there. And, I think these Xbox prices going up, they're going to sell what they have, and they're going to make the most off of what they got. The console market is, it's like hitting that threshold. And so it's like, how are we, just kind of like what you said for Nintendo, right? Who are we pricing out? And how are we going to make the most money off of the people that aren't priced out? But my question is, who 5 years later is going to buy a $730 Xbox Series X?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think they know that too. So like that whole like Game Pass Anywhere thing, but it's like, all right, well, like, where am I going to play my Game Pass? And everyone's like, oh, LG just got it, right? It's like, well, my little LG 43-inch TV cost me over $1,000 just for the TV. So
my
it's like,
C1 did not get the upgrade.
I have a C4, and I got the upgrade. It popped up, but I'm not playing. Who's playing Call of Duty on streaming through their TV?
So I think I just want to touch on this really quick. And the growth has always been called out. Well, cloud is going to save them.
Yes.
The cheapest way to play cloud is $20 a month. They don't have a cloud like just tier. So I just feel like if that's where the mainstream is going to go in smaller countries, maybe I'm like, and they talk about, overseas will be great. I'm like, I don't think they want to pay $20 a month just to stream stuff, which I will tell you, streaming is okay. But anytime I've tried to stream, I've had horrible experiences. It's not the same. It's a option. It's okay if I'm already paying it. It's an option to play free. It is not worth $20 to make that my main way. So I just feel like I don't think that's a strategy to win either. So when my GPU runs out, which I got the 1 year of, whatever it was, get 3 years of GPU when it really launched. And I've done some stacking over the years. Once it runs out, I'm just going to do PC Game Pass. It's $11 a month. Doesn't have cloud streaming. And quite honestly, I'm okay with that.
So I sold that I traded in that Series X. Or sorry, I traded in my Series S. I traded in my PS5. And I got the PS5 Pro. And I only spent, I think, $140. And that was at GameStop. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to trade in because you usually get a crappy deal. Yeah. But it's just, oh man, these prices going up, and I had that Pro discount. I'm like, oh wow, I actually couldn't believe how much money I got for these two consoles.
That's wild. Yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, if I traded my Series X, I probably would have broke even. But I ended up keeping the Series X. But my whole thing is, it's like, well, when I start streaming games downstairs, it's like I'll now be streaming off of my PC. And my Xbox upstairs is so that me and my son can play Ninja Turtles,
but not at the same time. With Game Pass, right?
Well, if we're upstairs with two controllers, but if I'm downstairs, he has kicked me off before. I'm like, I'm like yelling up the stairs.
That's what happened with my son. I had the PC and he had it on the console, and I'm like, we can't play at the same time because there's no family Game Pass.
I'm waiting for that family plan, but I'm like, oh man, like I might have to drop down to PC Game Pass, because what
Yeah.
on this
there's
cloud.
there's a threshold.
And if you don't have a console, for me, I don't have a console anymore, so it becomes a challenge. And Xbox is really leveraging publisher because their games are day and date, and we'll see Switch 2 get a ton of Xbox games too. So then it's like, what's the value? Is it the UI? Is it the controller? Well, the Pro Controller kind of is from my hearing, it's going to be a great controller, so probably just as good as a Xbox controller. And and the online on Switch is cheaper, not as always as good, but cheaper still if you want to do online. So it's gonna be interesting. Last question, in regards to like PlayStation, we kind of covered everybody. PlayStation, I feel like is on the precipice of having a rude awakening. They aren't putting out a lot of games. Their year this year is going to be MLB The Show, maybe some third-party games they got as exclusive, and we have Ghost of Yotai. That's it for this year. No Spider-Man 3, no Wolverine, no other games. And if maybe you're excited about Marathon, maybe that's it. They are living high on the hog of third-party. They had
a lot of I mean, I know people are like complaining about their first-party stuff, and I don't know what happened since PS4 to PS5. Like, I don't understand like the development process.
Made live service games and they failed, and they're they failed. Okay, now make the real games we like.
But they poured a lot of money and they invested a lot into third-party exclusives, because those third-party exclusives have been like, there's been a lot of them this generation. Yes. So I know people are like, oh, where's the first-party Sony games? It's like, well, you've still had exclusives. You just want it to be developed by a Sony developer. Yeah. And so I feel like we're like in this situation where X amount of years ago, when Sony was pumping out left and right and Xbox was coming out with nothing, and now you've done like this full switch and Xbox is pumping out, and now Xbox has a lot more under their umbrella, and all of a sudden Sony's dried out. And so we're like constantly complaining about the same thing. And it's like, just play games. Just play the games, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was gonna say, it's wild how the timing worked out in PlayStation's favor, because of everything we've talked about, like price hikes and everything else. If the prices dropped significantly instead of raising like they usually do, like Matt, you said, at this point in the console life cycle, we're 5 years in, 6 years in, approaching, whatever. We expect prices to drop. If that was the case and Xbox was able to drop prices, I think we'd be talking a different story right now of like, Xbox is going to have the best hardware year they've seen since Xbox 360, because they've got some exclusive, they've got some great games, they've got day and date Game Pass stuff. Like they're firing on all cylinders, but it feels like they want, or they don't care, they want to get out of the console race or something. And whether it's ROG Ally or a Quest 3 Xbox branded something or other, or jumping on your TV or whatever, to Todd's point, like they don't have a streaming Game Pass. So it's great if my wife's playing Hogwarts Legacy on the TV and I want to float an Xbox window next to her on my Quest. We did that on this weekend and it was great. I could still see what she was playing on TV. I could still talk to her on the couch, and I was playing another Xbox game floating in the living room through my Quest. And it was a great little way to kind of like, my brother and I joked, it was like parallel play that you see with like toddlers. So my wife and I were doing that. But like PlayStation's timing was so good, where it was like PlayStation game after PlayStation game after PlayStation game, and it just became like synonymous with quality gaming. And now they can ride that wave of like, we've sold 1 billion consoles, so we don't really give a shit. Play your third party stuff and leave us alone for a minute while we recoup and build some more of these games. And Xbox is like, hey, we finally got games. And everyone's like, it's too expensive, we don't care anymore. So it's like the timing just... Yeah.
And what I'm about to say might be like, I might get dunked on. I don't know how many fanboys are watching, but it's like, I see Xbox now as looking at the future as a publisher. Xbox has purchased 2 of the largest publishers on the planet with Activision and Bethesda. And it's like, oh, look at all these Xbox games that we have. It's like, well, Yeah, and you have them because it's like the Yankees. Everyone
Yes.
complains that the Yankees have bought their championships. It's like Xbox just bought a lot of games, and that's awesome. And they had certain reasons, right? And like, we want these games to be available anywhere. And I love Xbox's backwards compatibility, and I love Xbox's like visions in terms of like, game preservation and stuff. And so it's like, a lot of these, like, kind of like with the Psychonauts 2 thing, like we would not have been able to make this game if it were not for the Xbox publishing money. So we've got a lot of games coming under the Xbox umbrella. I don't know if these price hikes have to do with the fact that, hey, we just spent $70 billion. You know what I mean? That money still has to be recouped somehow. And so, yeah, there's a lot of games because Activision is huge and there's a lot of games, and Bethesda is huge. There's a lot of games. Like, we're talking about, like, we have Doom coming out. Doom is id. Doom is Bethesda. A few years ago, that was not a Microsoft game. Starfield came out. That is Bethesda. Oblivion came out. That is, but these were not Microsoft games. So Activision, like, we have Call of Duty. Yeah. It's like, you bought Mark Teixeira, and now you bought Alex Rodriguez. Like, and it's okay. You had the money to do it. It's your right to do it. But at the same time, all of these games were coming out, whether the Xbox brand was on it or not. And, and then you hear Sony like, oh, we just developed, looking for, what's the new studio that they just came out with? And they're constantly,
LFG
looking,
gonna make a game that's like,
or something like that. The Gummy Bears game.
Bungie spin-off, going to make it more of a more casual type of multiplayer game.
MOBA game or whatever, or MOBA game. And it's like, yeah, don't get me started. I mean, I'm not a Bungie stan or anything, but it's like, I'm glad that, like, Sony had that. Like, everyone was worried that Sony was going to buy From Software, right, with the whole Katakawa thing, right. And I'm glad that they didn't. Leave them alone. Now they have like a big stake in From Software, but it's like, I don't know what's going on with some of those developers, because we look at something like GTA 2013 was the last time, was when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. How long is it taking between development of Cory Barlog's God of War and now Cory Barlog's next game? Because that was 2018. Yeah. It's been about 7-8 years. Like, we're looking at these massive, almost decade jumps. Yeah, Sony hasn't come out with anything because they just pumped out how many games over the past 5-6 years. We're in this
formula is their undoing.
Yeah.
They wanted to make the most ambitious games. They added bigger studios. The budgets got too high, and they couldn't actually recoup their costs. Kind of like Microsoft has basically said, we're going to subsidize the consoles as long as the sales grow. And they have not seen, in the 24 years they've been making consoles, 12 of those years, which is the most 12 recent, have been declines. Mm-hmm. So you don't subsidize something that's not selling it because you're going to say you're making it up on software sales. It hasn't. Where they realize now, with all of the studios they bought, they can sell to everybody and make a lot more money, not to take the risk. And the R&D and development and marketing, everything to make another box, that's a hard thing to tell your CEO. Hey, we're going to make another box. It's probably not going to sell better than the last gen. Should we invest $3 billion into it, even though we're probably going to end up at a loss? He goes, no. So develop those games, sell them everywhere. Yeah. You know what? Does it matter? We'll still sell controllers if maybe we can get them to work on PC. We'll still sell like the surface level console. Great. Yeah. That's for those enthusiasts that like our platform. And we're going to make a UI that actually finally works on Windows that actually isn't trash. So there you go. And then our games will play on everybody else, and we're making good. I mean, ultimately, people want, you know what? Would I be happier if we had less boxes that just played good games? Yes. And you know what? PC is a bunch of different manufacturers to make a lot of different boxes. And there's not like one person in front saying we can charge 85% more. No, it's a battle, because PC, you play and you build the PC you want and you get the performance you want, and everybody's the happier for it. And if somebody can make it great with like a Steam Deck or something else, and then have all other variations, I think that's where we're headed. Yeah. I just feel like
Yeah, I've been saying that for years. Man. Like Microsoft looks at the PC market and they build their Surface tablets and their Surface computers and all that kind of stuff. Like they're in the hardware business, but like they don't care if as long as you're using Windows and using Office and using their stuff, they don't care if you buy a Dell or a Sony or a Surface or whatever else, like input, build your own PC, whatever. So like I can really see the Xbox business doing the same thing. It's like, well, here's our box. Like, okay, cool. If you want that, but like, it's also on this ROG Ally. It's also on this Quest. It's also on this and this and this. And you can also play our games on anything. And you don't like, they just, as long as they're making money, they don't really care. Did you guys see the GTA 6 versus the Burj Khalifa comparison?
Yes.
I did not.
For anyone that hasn't, Todd included, GTA 6 has taken longer to develop and costs more than it took to build the Burj Khalifa, aka the tallest building in the world. The Burj Khalifa cost $1.5 billion US and took 6 years to build, and GTA 6 currently estimated to cost $2 billion US dollars and has so far taken 13 years, with full production taking about 8 years. Of development.
How long did the pyramids of Giza take? I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? It's like all of these things, and it's like it made him take this long so people can show they're drinking like energy drink, and they can show the label or reflections in your rearview mirror. That's what we're talking about, right?
I mean, Todd, the aliens built the pyramids. We know this.
So they got technology.
I mean, they probably went back in time, like a little Rita's Rewind, and like
exactly.
There we go. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, so I think Mark puts a good cap on this episode. We didn't solve anything, folks, and that's fine because we can't. But ultimately, we're gonna play games. I'm gonna get a Switch too. I'm gonna play some really fun games. Matt's trading a bunch of consoles. He's the richer for it. And then Mark is going to tell his son that the Switch 2 doesn't exist for you. Yeah.
He knows that. Yeah. We've had those discussions.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all. We don't do this live. So if we did, oh my God, we'd go 3 hours, which would be more painful. And Mark has to go to bed. So with that, I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us in this episode. If you're watching, follow all the things that we do as we are. But with that, Matt, tell people where they can find you online.
I'm on a lot. So MKen10 on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Blue Sky. I'm still one of the good persons on X, Twitch, and YouTube. MKen10.
Beauty, consistency.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad it worked out. Matt is a diva. Yeah. He needs his time to stream, and he has finally been able to join us. So thank you so much, Matt.
I had an awesome time. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Mark, where can people find you? Yeah.
You can find me mostly over on Instagram at Canardian_Jedi. Every once in a while, I'll check Blue Sky or Threads. Blue Sky, you can find me Canardian.Jedi because I don't think they do underscores. And always hanging out in the Secret Friends Unite Discord group as well.
Great. And if you're listening right now, you might be able to hear my son play his trumpet. Maybe you
I was wondering what that was. I thought it was crazy for a second.
Yeah, he's playing upstairs. I was trying to think he's home from college. He's a music major. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You might hear a trumpet in the background. It's my fanfare.
I'm just glad everyone else hears it too. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's going insane. If you want to check me out, I'm at Todd Oxtra at Secret Friends Unite on Blue Sky, at T Oxtra at Secret Friends Unite on the Threads. Check out our YouTube channel. Check out our Discord. Check out our Patreon. And folks, this has been so much fun. I look forward to this every 2 weeks. And remember, it's always better to game together.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on Threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.